Hi guys, hello, how are you guys doing? So I'm actually making crunchies for myself. I was not intending making any video. It's actually a DIY thing, but I thought of making a video on how I'm going to be achieving this beautiful crunchies right now. Let me move my machine a little bit away. Right here, so for the crunchies I have elastic, just a 1/4 inch elastic. Then I cut my fabric 25 by 3.5 inch width, and the length depends on you, and it depends on the size you want your crunchies, how big you want your crunchies to be. That depends on you. But here I have 25 here, and here I have 24 by 3.5 inches. That's why I cut 3.5 inches wide and length. This is 25, and this is the one I have 24, and this one that I'm making here I have 24 by 3.5 inches. And what I did before sewing is that at the edge here, at the wrong side of my fabric, I left 2 inches. I just mark it out, 2 inches, 2 inches. And I'll do the same thing. I did the same thing to this other side. You mark out your 2 inches at the edge there. Then you go ahead and fold your fabric right side facing right side like so. And you are going to be sewing from this 2 inches mark right down to this other 2 inches mark. So guys, I've already started sewing, as you can see, from the 2 inches mark that I made. So let me set this aside a bit. So I'm now going to sew down. Let me move closer so you can see what I'm doing. So you sew straight down. Right there. So guys, I'm done sewing. This is what we'll be having, like so. This edge is still open, and this edge here is still open. So I'll go ahead now. I don't need a loop turner for this. It's very easy. So go ahead and turn it over right now. So guys, I'm done turning it over to the right side. As you can see, this edge is still open. The 2 inches that were left at both edges here, or ends. So the next thing that I will do now is to fold it in half and make sure that the right side is facing right side like so. So now you get your pin, just pin it down. This fabric is a little bit, you know how this velvet fabrics does, if I'm right. You just pin it right there and sew down. sew straight down. You try to equalize and arrange as you sew. So guys, I'm done sewing. So this is what we have. You can see we have this opening here, and this is where I'm going to insert my elastic right away before closing it. So this is my elastic right here. I'm going to cut 6.5 inches. You measure, you cut your 6.5 inches. Cut. I have my pins here. So at one end I'm going to pin it to this edge here. I don't want to lose it. You know how elastic can be funny at times. So while I take my other safety pin and now I'll walk my way through, and now I'm going to come out at this end at the end of the day. So guys, I'm at this edge here. So what I'll do now is to carefully open my pin, hold the both elastic, be careful and make sure you have it both edges. So I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch on my machine. To sew the both edge of this elastic together. You back stitch. So when you're done, this is what you have. I'm offing this machine light because when I on it, you kind of see this reflection here at the spot, but it's not a problem. So guys, this is what we'll have. Our crunchies is beautifully made. So right now I'm going to hold this both edge here, fold it in. So the thing now is for you to close up this opening that we left earlier. You just carefully work your way, fold a 1/4 inch in both sides and carefully work your way. Guys, when you're working with this material, you have to be very careful. So I will backstitch I'm sewing very close to the edge, guys, very close to the edge. You should make sure that you tuck in 1/4 of an inch or whatsoever seam allowance you're using. And make sure that you equalize at that joining, that point that we have our joining. Make sure you equalize. And you pull so you can be able to have a clean finish. Gotten to the end of it. So guys, you arrange properly, and this is what we have. This is what we have at the end of the day. Very beautiful. If you want to put your tie, just to decorate it a bit, you cut your tie whatever inches that you want to be using, like a bow, in form of a bow, and you can tie it at this place where we close up our scrunchie. So guys, this is lovely. This is very beautiful. This is what we have. I've already made a few of this, and I still have this to make. You can see I'm going to be making this color and this color. So my lovely beautiful people, this is just a little DIY. Let me make a few of this or those. At the end of the day, I'm going to be showing you how it's looking. And hold on. So guys, I've got my pattern paper here. What do I mean by tie? Let me just mark out a margin just for you to decorate it, just like a bow to tie, to just tie it at the middle and give it a little design. You can make any design of your choice. Let's say I want my tie to be 2 inches. Should mark out 2 inches, which is also way much, but let's leave it at 2 inches. How I think I'll go with 10.5 inches. This fabric is on a fold. Then we'll be having 11 at the end of the day. So it's just like you're making a bow pattern. Pardon me for my drafting today. So for me, I have to indicate the midpoint of this. The midpoint is 1 inch. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I hope I'm not talking to myself. So guys, I'm still trying to draft my tie quickly. The midpoint is 2 inches. I indicated it. How much do I want to go in? Let's say I go in by 1.5, 1.5 inches here. You just give it a nice, you can give it a slanty curve or whatever style you want. You can give it a round, a more roundish, or you want a V shape. You place your curve in such a way that it will give you the V shape that you want. Then you will just cut it out. I won't be adding any seam allowance because it's just perfect for me the way it is. So guys, this is what I have. This is what I'm trying to make. So at the end of the day, when I cut all my fabric, I'm going to be sewing straight down like so. I will leave an opening at the middle somewhere where I'll be turning it over to the right side. You know, we are going to be sewing at the wrong side. So at the end of the day, your tie is going to be coming here, and you're going to be tying it stylishly anyhow you want it. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's a thing of choice if you want it. So I'll cut on fabric and see how it's gonna look on my scrunchie. Here is it, my little bow to tie on my scrunchies. I don't want it big, so I'm not adding any much of allowance, just something very little, very minor. So guys, this is what we'll have on fabric. This is what we'll have. So like I said, it's not necessarily you don't make it exact measurement that I made. It's a thing of choice, the way you want to style it. If you want it longer, you should make a longer bow to tie. If you want it smaller, you make a smaller bow to tie. So I'm going to be sewing from this edge here, and I'm going to be leaving a 1 inch opening maybe at the midpoint here, and so I'll turn it over and our tie is ready to be attached to our scrunchies. All right guys, let me do that. I've turned it over to the right side. This is what we have here. I still have this opening here, so I'll go ahead now to close this opening. Guys, that's just it. I've given it a quick tack. You trim off all the, adjust it properly. So for me, I'm going to be tying it at that edge where I closed my scrunchies before, and also at that midpoint where I turn my bow, so everything will just, you know, seal up a little bit. So guys, this is it. You tie it any which way you want. I know, you can tie it any which way you want. You can tie it any which way you want, guys. I don't know, like so. So beautiful people, it depends on you. However you want to tie it depends on you, but this is just how I tied it. Very beautiful. Look at this. Sure you centralize it at that point where we closed our scrunchie. So guys, hey, this is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. When you are less busy, use those fabric of yours, those leftover, to make scrunchies for sale, for the case, for friends and for family. All right guys, you guys should have a beautiful Sunday.